Hey, so today we're going to work with two-step inequalities. So similar to what we did yesterday, but now it's going to look like a two-step equation, but still working with the inequalities. So remember the difference between an equation and an inequality. An inequality means we're finding multiple answers. We're not just finding one answer. With an equation, we only find one answer because it's equal to that. Inequality is saying we could have multiple answers. So if I look at 3x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 16. First I need to determine, is my letter on the left side of the symbol? Yes, so I don't need to rewrite it, because remember I want the letter on the left side. So now I'm going to draw my line, box my letter, just like I did with an equation. Now what am I going to get rid of first? The 4. So if it's a positive 4, what am I going to do? Subtract 4. Got to do the opposite, Carter. If I add 4, it's just going to make it a larger number, and it's going to make it more complicated to work with. So my 3x did not change. My symbol did not change. 16 minus 4? 12. Now that's just like yesterday. So what do I need to do?
Just do, hold on. I freaking know this.
What operations between the 3 and the x?
Oh my gosh, how did I forget?
I got it. You guys both were.
Well, it's already being multiplied, so the opposite?
Divide.
So I get divide by 3. So I get x is greater than or equal to 4.
Louis, go, run.
Yep, so we gotta graph it. There's my number line. There's my 4. Is it an open or a closed circle? Closed. It has a line underneath. A line underneath means it's closed. Nope, line underneath is closed. To the right. Okay.
Wait.
Let's try another one.
Miss Barbara?
Yes.
Did the 7 and 6 grade be your time?
I'm not talking about that right now.
How about after?
Yes. 2x plus 8 is greater than 24. Got a question?
Yes, how did you do one thing?
I put the number for the graph. The symbol determines if it's an open or closed. So when there's a line underneath, it means it's a closed circle at that number. Whichever way your sign is pointing is the way your arrow goes. If your letter's on the left.
You only put one number?
Yep.
So it's always going to be the one.
I'm just requiring you to put that number. On the worksheet today, they're going to give you the number line with more numbers. So if they give it to you, you're going to have more numbers. But if you have to draw it, I'm only going to require you to put that number. If it helps you to know the numbers, it might. Some people like putting more than one number.
That's hard.
Alright, so in the second one, is my letter on the left side of the sign? Yes, so I don't need to rewrite. So draw my line, box my letters.
Why does that say left?
Because if it's on the right side, then I can't draw my arrow the correct way at the end. Because it would be opposite. So you always want to make sure your letter's on the left side. Subtract 8 from both sides. So 2x is greater than 24 minus 8? 16. Now what?
Now
Divide by 2. So x is greater than 8. Open circle to the right. Any questions so far? Let's look at 33 is greater than 5 plus 4x. So is my letter on the left side? No, so I need to rewrite it. But when I rewrite it, everything else is staying in the same order. So since 5 comes first on this side, I'm going to rewrite it as 5 plus 4x. Notice my symbol, the small part, is pointing towards the 5. So that means I need to flip my symbol and then write my 33. Josh, you getting this written down? So I kept the 5 plus 4x in order. I switched my sign to keep the small part pointing still at it. And put my 33 down. Now I can solve it because my letter's on the left side. So I'm going to draw my line, box my letter. Now what? Minus 5 on each side. So I have 4x is less than 33 minus 5 is 28. What do I need to do next? Divide by 4 on each side. So I get x is less than 7. So it's an open or a closed circle? Open circle in which direction? To the left. Okay? So this one, if you wouldn't have rewritten it, that's why I'm saying you have to have your letter on the left side, because otherwise if you would have kept it the same, you would have put it to the right and it would have been wrong. Okay? So make sure your letter's always on the left side. Let's try 9 plus 2x greater than 15. I'm going to give you a couple minutes and I want you to try this one by yourself and then we'll check it. Josh, you should be working on this. Carter, you should be working on this. This is your warning. Hey, let's check. Is my letter on the left side? Is the letter on the left side? Yes. So I can solve. So draw your line. Box your letter. What'd you do first?
I did -9.
Okay, minus 9 on each side. So 2x is greater than 15 minus 9. Should be 6. Then what?
Then you divide by 2.
Divide by 2. So x is greater than 3. Open circle because there's no line underneath. And to the right, that's the way my arrow is pointing. How many of you got it? Nice job. Let's try 11 is less than 7 minus 2x. So is my letter on the left side?
No.
No, so I need to rewrite it. So I'm still going to keep it as 7 minus 2x is now greater than 11. Yeah, switch my symbols. I'm switching everything else
How
around.
many questions are on the worksheet?
12.
Ooh, that's easy.
Hey, now what? Draw my line, box my letter. So now what am I going to do first?
Well, -7,
Okay, subtract 7 on each side. Remember, this negative needs to come down with a 2, so the negative 2x is greater than 4. Now what do I need to do?
Divide by -2x.
Divide by negative 2.
Oh, -2.
So what happens when I divide by negative?
Is it negative? Well, if they're different, then it's going to be negative.
Okay, my answer's going to be negative, but what about my symbol?
Oh, it's going to change to 4.
I have to change it
Or
whenever
change
I
it to-
multiply divide by a negative number. So then it turns to x is less than negative 2. Okay, so that one had to change twice because when we started the problem, it was on the right side, and then we multiplied or divided by a negative, so we had to switch it again. Okay? So when you graph a negative 2, it should be an open circle and to the left. Okay, so there may be problems where you have to flip it more than one time. Yep, we're going to try one more. X divided by 2 plus 9 is greater than or equal to 5. So box my letter, draw my line.
You're gonna divide by 2. I mean, times 2.
Do I times first?
No, we subtract.
I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 9 from each side. So I have x divided by 2 greater than or equal to 5 minus 9.
-4.
Negative 4. Now what do I need to do? What am I going to multiply by?
2.
Multiply by 2 on each side. So I have x and then negative 8. Do I need to switch my sign?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
No.
I have a negative though. Do I need to switch it?
Yeah. You didn't divide.
I didn't multiply or divide by a negative, so my sign has to stay the same. Only when you multiply or divide by a negative. This 2 is not a negative. Yes, I have a negative over here, but I'm not changing the side by multiplying it by a negative. So the number I multiply by, if that would have been a negative 2, then my sign would have switched.
The number you have up there, like on the top, is the one that will change it?
It's whatever with your letter, whatever number is with your letter, that's going to determine if you change your sign or not. Okay? So then when I graph, open or close circle. Gentlemen, you should not be talking. Close circle in which direction? To the right. Okay? So you have that down. Go ahead and go to page 3. Fill out your table of contents. Today is 1, 4, and 2-step inequalities.